For over 2 decades, XTERRA has brought together some of the world's fittest, toughest, and craftiest endurance athletes for a series of off-road triathlons. Races that combine open water swimming, mountain biking, and trail running, and demand skill and tenacity, guile and grit. More than a sport, XTERRA is a lifestyle, requiring total commitment from the bold and ambitious warriors who want to test themselves against the elements, the terrain, the conditions, and each other, in some of the most spectacular natural settings in all of athletics. In this, the 24th season of XTERRA Racing, the sport's appeal continues to grow. And as more and more professional athletes are drawn to its unique challenges, the stakes are higher, and the victories harder to come by. But it's more than just elite triathletes who live and breathe XTERRA. For the thousands of age group competitors, training can become a personal mission, and reaching an XTERRA finish line represents a major life accomplishment. This series will bring you the stories, the motivations, the frustrations, and the triumphs of the 2019 XTERRA World Tour. For episode 2, we head to Europe and Wasle, Greece, a spectacular seaside suburb of Athens, which drew dozens of elite athletes, including the reigning women's XTERRA World Champion, to the glittering coastline known as the Athenian Riviera, site of the 2004 Olympic Triathlon. While the pro racers were looking for prize money, podium spots, and a chance to test early season form, the age groupers had plenty at stake as well, as XTERRA Greece provided an opportunity for them to qualify for the World Championship on the Hawaiian island of Maui. XTERRA Adventures is presented by Tea Tree, eco-minded hair care infused with natural botanicals. Discover the natural magic of Tea Tree. The Maui Visitors and Convention Bureau. Visit gohawaii.com/Maui. This segment is brought to you by Tea Tree by Paul Mitchell. Among the amateur athletes hoping to book a trip to Maui were Nadia Shinzanaiki, a 43-year-old architect who has constructed a successful triathlon racing career around the responsibilities of her extremely busy personal and professional life.
You have to have a well-organized schedule, be punctual, and have lots of love for what you do. My day starts really early, some minutes after 6 a.m. I get up and I have to prepare food for my kids, wake them up, take them to school, and start my morning training. Right after that, I start the office work. Afterwards, or if I can have a break, I'm heading to the swimming pool. My swimming bag is always in the car. At some point after midday, time has come for some bike training. In the afternoon, the kids have a lot of activities and I have a few meetings with clients at the office. Luckily, after 8 p.m. we're all back home and we can have a few family hours all together. I liked drawing and sketching since I was a kid. My professional selection came naturally. I was a good student, studied a lot, as it's tough to get the grades for a school like this. I love my job. It's creative, every day you get to do something different. So I'll keep loving it and I'll keep practicing it.
Η αγάπη παραμένει για αυτό που κάνω και θα το κάνω.
Variability is also what appeals to Shinzanaiki about triathlon. She got her start in the sport in her 30s when, at the advice of a physiotherapist, she took up swimming to treat a bad back.
Swimming brought cycling, and cycling brought the running. This is how I started triathlon.
Τώρα όσον αφορά το cross triathlon, νομίζω είναι πιο περιπετειώδη, είναι πιο συναρπαστικό.
As far as cross triathlon is concerned, I believe it's more adventurous and fascinating. Time flies while I'm racing.
Μεγάλη πρόκληση να ασχοληθώ με αυτό.
Although swimming is Shinzanaiki's weakest of the three disciplines, she is married to somebody who can help. Her husband, Kostas, is a former national champion swimmer who trains with Nadia in the Mediterranean, off the northwest coast of Crete, where they live. Their three children have taken up triathlon as well, and they encourage and support their mother's athletic exploits.
Θα μου μείνει κάτι που κάποια στιγμή δεν ήθελα. Είχα φορέσει.
I recall a day when I had already put my running shoes on. I got out of the house and got back in immediately. It was my kids who told me, "Go, go, Mum," and I took the encouragement I needed to do my training.
Πήρα πολύ δύναμη από αυτά. Με ενθαρρύνουν πολύ τα παιδιά. Μου δίνουν πολύ ενέργεια.
Although she is in her mid-40s, Shinzanaiki is still relatively new to triathlon, and she continues to get faster as she learns and trains more.
Η αλήθεια είναι ότι εγώ ξεκίνησα αθλητισμό αργά, στα 37 μου.
Truth be told, I started sports a bit late, when I was 37 years old, which means that as an athlete, I'm young. I'm not tired of racing yet.
Είμαι ακόμα νεαρή, είμαι μικρή. Αθλητικά.
An elite athlete who started racing in high level at the age of 15, for example, stops at my age.
Τον πρωταθλητισμό, η αλήθεια είναι ότι σε αυτήν την ηλικία που είμαι εγώ σταματάει.
I still have the passion and the appetite for racing for this exact reason.
Γιατί ακριβώς έχω ξεκινήσει αργά.
Early morning, April 21st, and the start of XTERRA Greece. Mathurin Bouda of France got out to a big lead on the swim, but somewhere among the athletes churning through Voligmeni Bay was Will Kelsey, a 37-year-old American whose lifelong passion for XTERRA was first sparked 16 years ago.
I first got into XTERRA back in 2003 when a friend of mine during spring break in university said, "Let's go to Las Vegas." And so we ended up going to Vegas and did a training camp where every day we would just go out and beat the crap out of each other and just train all day, and then we go eat at the buffet at night, and then we go out and party because we were in university, and then get up and do it all over again. And then that all culminated with my first XTERRA ever on that weekend, on that Saturday. And it was one of the most fun experiences. And as soon as I did that first race, I was hooked immediately.
What happened in Vegas stayed with Kelsey as he decided to make XTERRA his life work.
I do have to say that I am somewhat proud of myself for never having the traditional 9-to-5 job. It's just never fit with me being so hyper and always mobile and wanting new challenges and new things. The idea of going to a desk job every day would be torture for someone like me. I would have to say the mentality of an off-road athlete versus a road athlete, they both have that type A focus, but one of the things that an off-roader has is that love of adventure and relaxation, and you will focus and you will get the training done and you'll be able to perform during your race. But then when you're done, you want to have a beer, you want to go sightseeing, you want to play around, and there's this sense of adventure that all off-road athletes have, and I love seeing that. It's indescribable.
This segment is brought to you by Maui Gym Sunglasses.
Well, Welcome to the Live More podcast powered by XTERRA. I am your host, Will Kelsey.
Will has immersed himself in the XTERRA world, developing a podcast about the sport, writing articles on his fellow athletes, and commentating at races. But beyond the XTERRA extracurriculars, he is still motivated to maximize his own performance as an elite athlete, even on days when it's tough to get out the door to train.
You end up talking to yourself and asking yourself, would you be disappointed if you stopped, if you backed off, if you didn't find out how far you could go? And that drives me a lot, to always want to find out how good I can be.
2 years ago, Kelsey struck up a training and coaching relationship with Scotland's Lesley Paterson, one of the best off-road triathletes in the history of the sport.
Will is awesome. He's a great training partner. I call him my training husband, as well as an athlete that I coach, which is super cool because I get to spend a lot of time with him and really understand how he works mentally and physically and what suits him. He gives everything to this sport, you know. His personality, he's like a puppy dog, so he's either 100% on or 100% off. So, you know, that's both a blessing and a curse, but as far as I'm concerned, it's just such a huge positive because he has a zest and an energy that is infectious. So not only is it great to coach, but it's great to be a part of and to experience when I'm training with him.
Red.
I think what's kept Will in the sport so long is the fact that it's an amazing life experience to do this sport. You get to travel the world, meet incredible people. It's a lifestyle, it's not just a sport. So in that regard, it's part of his soul. It's what he loves. So regardless of any performance, it's what he has to do.
I would love to be crossing the finish line when I'm 75, 85, just putting my hands up in the air, getting to feel that rush, that exhilaration of completing the course.
At this point, on the morning of April 21st, the euphoria of the finish line was still a couple hours away. First out of the water was the Frenchman Buda, who was 20 seconds up on Max Sasserath of Germany, with a large pack of contenders another minute behind. Belgium's Charlotte Deldel, competing in her first ever XTERRA race, led the women out of the water, almost 2 minutes ahead of Carina Wasle from Austria. Paterson, the three-time and reigning XTERRA world champion, finished the swim in third place, another 40 seconds back. A solid effort for the Scotswoman on her weakest discipline, and one that kept her in contention for the victory, with the hilly bike and run courses still to come.
I think what suits me about XTERRA is how much climbing are in the courses. Just because I'm small and light, that really suits me. Whereas on the road, often it's flat and it requires a lot of power. So my strength is power to weight rather than just straight power.
5 kilometers into the 30K bike portion, a pack of 5 riders was leading the way. And Buda, the top swimmer, was not among them. Instead, 2 different Frenchmen, Arthur Forissier and Arthur Forissier, were pushing the pace. And by the end of the ride, the 2 Arthurs had separated themselves at the front, alongside Jere Luxem of Belgium.
Racing with Arthur Forissier, it's always a pleasure because we train some time together and we're racing together since our first competition. So it was always something special to share my race with my friends.
A couple of dry, warm days had loosened the bike track, which made tires prone to sliding.
I think the bike course was not dangerous, but there are some slippery corners because there is very dry and there are small rocks, and if you go too fast on corner, you can fall.
Carina Wasle was a casualty of those conditions. Second after the swim, she suffered a fall on the bike and was forced to withdraw after transition 2.
So I had a really bad bike crash. I tried to finish the race, but it was impossible, so I suffered a lot on the bike and tried to continue, but now I have a big hole on the knee, so I got stitches, and I didn't broke something, but I'm okay. It's just very bad luck, but that's sport.
With Wasle out of contention, the pre-race favorite, Lesley Paterson, took advantage of Wasle's mishap by charging to the lead during the bike.
For the swim, my strategy is about calming the nerves, just because it's the start of the race and because it is more of my weakness. I think I just need to kind of settle down and find a rhythm and kind of build into it. And then for the bike, I really like to attack that early and quickly to get in the mindset that I'm going to win this race and I'm going to go for it.
Go for it she did, although the fastest bike split of the day was turned in by Helena Karaskova-Erbenova, who had moved into second place entering transition 2. In the men's race, the two Arthurs broke away from the field early on the run, and the Frenchmen were flying.
My race was eclectic because I don't have a very good swim, but after I think I was very strong on the bike, and I know I can run very fast, so I'm waiting the end of the bike to just run with my maximum capacity.
XTERRA Adventures is presented by the Hawaiian Islands. Visit GoHawaii.com, Hawaii's official tourism site. XTERRA, racing and apparel for your active lifestyle. Visit XTERRAplanet.com. His maximum capacity, it turned out, was more than enough for the win, as Serrier pulled away from his countryman Forissier over the last couple kilometers, notching a 10-kilometer time of 33:52, more than 2.5 minutes faster than anyone else in the field. Forissier finished strong in second, giving France the top 2 spots, and Luxem rounded out the podium in third.
I think for the men, it really came down to the run. That together they were with each other on the bike. There wasn't a whole lot of shifting going on. But then when they got to the run, the two Arthurs were just absolutely flying. And I was talking to them afterwards, and both of them said they were just going right at the red line. It was as fast as they could go.
As for Kelsey, he finished 12th among the elite men.
I have to say that race today was fantastic. I didn't necessarily go as fast as I was hoping to, but I had so much fun out there today.
The run leg of the women's professional race was a formality, as Lesley Paterson, the reigning world champ and the best runner in the field, extended the lead she held after the bike and crossed the finish line with a comfortable 1 minute, 30-second margin of victory over Karaskova-Erbenova.
The competition was great today. Helena, she always seems to come out and do great performances, so she's really solid. I never saw her in the bike, but she was catching me up, and so I really had to push it on the run to make sure I came away with a win.
I have to say, with Lesley being my coach and winning here, it really means a lot to me, because I train with her every day, so I feel like she is helping me to be better, and in turn I'm helping her to go faster, and I just absolutely love that every time she does that. I feel like I was part of the team that helped make her succeed.
Charlotte Daldel The leader after the swim held on for a third-place finish in her first ever XTERRA race. Meanwhile, Nadia Shinzanaiki, the 43-year-old architect and mother of 3 from the island of Crete, delighted the local fans by placing first among amateur women in qualifying for the World Championship in Maui at the end of the year. But even for those athletes who fell short of their personal goals, just making it to the finish line, persevering during an hours-long physical test, was an accomplishment worth celebrating.
One of the things that I absolutely loved that was going on out there today, you saw it some on the bike and then everywhere on the run, is just that feeling of the athletes versus the course. And everyone was challenged by the course, and the spectators were absolutely amazing. You could see all of the athletes suffering out there, and the spectators helping to cheer them on. And that was really special. It really meant a lot to have so many people all around the course yelling, encouraging things in every language.
Coming up in the next episode, the 2019 XTERRA World Tour heads to Belgium, where we will hear from the reigning European Tour champion, a jack of all trades who works full-time while preparing to defend his title, and from a coach-turned XTERRA age group champion. All that and more next time on XTERRA Adventures.